kind of, you heard a little bit about both yesterday, and I think you'll hear it throughout the entire next 2 days. When will the translational mission of stem cell biology be realized? And I think I'm going to say that we are already seeing an impact, and that's an impact even independent of a cure, quote unquote, or even clinical trials just marching along. I think that stem cell biology, even in a translational sense, has kind of changed the way we think. So it is now accepted that there is plasticity in organ systems. Well, that's a result of the stem cell field for the past 2 decades. It's accepted, for example, thanks to investigators right here in this room, including Rusty, that enrichment and enhancement and exercise and things of that sort will enhance this plasticity and create better neurogenesis and things of that sort. Well, that's stem cell biology, and if you look at what is being done now for Alzheimer's patients and Parkinson's patients, it's exercise and enhancing their cognitive activity. Well, that's stem cell biology. We've heard for Katrina that we now have novel drug targets. Well, that came out of stem cell biology, where the bone marrow transplantation is actually more effective with less graft versus host disease because we're starting to use umbilical cord cells. Well, that comes out of stem cell biology. So we understand new factors that would never have been understood, or genes that never would have been understood if it hadn't come from understanding stem cell biology and being able to deliver some of these now by stem cells to pathology. So I would argue that we're already making an impact. We're already starting to realize our translational mission. And hopefully it'll accelerate, and we will have the more traditional, classical clinical trials that lead to real cures. And I'm going to end with one last comment because it was mentioned before, and it's going to be a recurring theme about what happened to Geron mean, and what are the implications for that in translational stem cell biology. And I somewhat have a little bit of a different take than what other people might have. Those of us who remember campaigning for Prop 71 heard, apart from the right-wing arguments, we heard a lot of arguments, even from the more liberal constituents, that this is something that shouldn't be done in academia or done in the public sector. This should be done in the private sector. And that Prop 71 was simply going to be welfare for biotech companies. Okay, I'm just going to end here. So the point that I wanted to make is that if we do that, market forces will influence the patients that get treated. And that needy patients need to be taken care of where you don't worry about the bottom line. And that's what academicians in the public sector needs to take care of. So that's why we do what we do, and that's why I think CIRM is around and why CIRM funded us. The good thing is that even though the Geron trial was truncated, obviously, they did do a service for us in giving us a regulatory route. So we actually know now how to start navigating through the regulatory route now as we start getting closer.
Thanks, Evan. I think next, Marty, if we could ask you to say a few words about the interdisciplinary nature, what the consortium is going to be, and how we're trying to put that together.
Well, the danger involving 4